Ayman Khan here for Seconds Out in Manchester with Paul Butler, looking to add to his list of achievements the IBO World title very soon. Paul, good to see you. How you doing?
Yes, all good, mate. Good week's training. Made up it's Friday. Good week banked again. 2 weeks to go now.
2 weeks to go, indeed. Your opponent in the opposite corner, how has he been on your radar at all? Is he the type of opponent you've watched at all before? I mean, you've been watching the tapes as well too, I imagine, as well in the lead up to the fight, but has he been on your radar before the fight was announced?
No, obviously we were mandatory for 2 belts, the EBU, the European title, and the IBO. We knew Asomba was having a voluntary because he's only just had the mandatory, which is fair enough. It's part and parcel of the game, it happens. So we couldn't sit around too long for that. It had probably been the end of the year by the time I'd have fought Asomba, so I weren't sitting around. We went down the IBO route, which Patel had. Contracts got sent over, he vacates, and then we've got this kid now.
Disappointed that it weren't Patel?
Very disappointed. It was definitely the reason why. Well, I say the reason we went down there. Asomba was having a voluntary, so I was never going to sit around and wait. So the next option we had was Patel. Disappointed it's not him, but listen, it's boxing, isn't it? It's a business at the end of the day. I need this title, then we can push on to win bigger and better titles as well.
That fight by no means will define your career, not fighting Prince Patel, but why do you feel he didn't want to be in the ring with you?
I don't know, to be fair. Purse bids, he didn't win the purse bids. A few of the lads were commenting on his Instagram post saying purse bids this week, champ, and then he was like, it'll be in Ghana, 80-20 split. I think he was relying on that. It didn't quite happen that way. The lads jumped back on his Instagram, see you in Liverpool, champ, and he just put something like, or will you? So from that point on, I pretty much knew he was going to vacate. So we went away, got an opponent, and this is who we've come up with.
Opportunity here to, look, no doubt you'll be confident heading into the fight, although he's fought many good fighters in the past, but you feel this is an opportunity for you now to get something in place for you to hold something as a bargaining chip for another opportunity or something big again in the future. 100%,
that's what it is. We've got something to come to the table with. At the moment, I sit here with nothing. I win the IBO World title. It gives me something to go to the table with. If it's a WBA title, if it's a WBC, if it's a IBF, it doesn't really matter as long as I've got something to come to the table with. I've got something to offer now instead of just saying, hi, I'm Paul Butler, can I have a voluntary defence, please? I'm 35, I need to get moving. I've probably got a year left. Let's be honest, I'm 35 now. I still feel good, I still feel fresh, but listen, Father Time waits for no one.
You still look good as well in the ring, and I wondered, not many fighters in your division, at least from my memory, are able to retain the movement, the fleet feet as they get on in age. So why have you been able to maintain that movement? It won't be as sharp as it was, years back, but you've still been able to maintain such good feet.
Yeah, I think, do you know what? I think it's the brain. I know my way around the ring, do you know what I mean? They might not be as quick, but I can set up things a little bit better than what I used to be able to do. I believe the Paul Butler now, age 35, beats the Paul Butler age 24 because I know more now. I was more elusive, I was fresher, I was throwing more shots back then, but I know a little bit too much now than what I did back then, which helps. It's experience, that's all it is.
So with the finish line in mind then, coming soon, what do you want to achieve with that in mind?
I'm chasing world titles. That's all I want. I just want another world title. Give me another shot at a world title. If we win it, brilliant. If we don't, hasta la vista.
Putting that pressure on yourself?
No, there's no pressure, mate. I'm 35. I've won 2 world titles. I came into the sport to win a world title. I got there within 16 fights. At the time, I was the fastest Englishman to win a world title. So I've had a great career. There's no pressure on me to go out there and win another world title. I've done all I need to do in boxing. I'm doing it now just because for the love of the sport. I don't need the money. I don't need the big paydays. I love boxing. I love the buzz. I love the adrenaline. and I just want to go and win another world title. I want to be three-time world champion.
Change your thoughts a little bit for the moment. As one of the older heads in the gym, as one of the captains maybe as well in the gym, you got a new addition in the form of Lawrence Okolie. I just hear Joe Gallagher, I think Billy was saying to me, I'm surprised Joe's still got a voice at the moment with the amount he's coaching him at the moment, but how's it been having Lawrence walk through the doors?
It's been good. It's been really good. The first day he came in, I thought he was coming in for sparring. I was like, well, what's Lawrence doing here? Oh, he'd been doing a bit with Joe in Saudi. So it's nice to have him here. He's listening. Everyone outside the gym, all my mates, and ask me, what's Lawrence like? He's quiet. He comes in, he does his business, he does his work. He goes home, he comes back, he does his track work with Joe. I've seen a change in him in the weeks he's been here, months he's been here. He looks very good, he looks sharp. And I hope everything he's doing here with Joe, he takes into the ring in Poland, because you'll see a completely different Lawrence Okolie. As someone's said to you, I'm surprised Joe hasn't lost his voice. He's screaming at him. We don't hold, we jab, we punch, we move. So I do think he takes that into the ring, you'll see a completely different Lawrence.
Really captures that bridgerweight title?
I do, yeah. And I think he does it in spectacular fashion. I think he takes his kid past 4 rounds and then knocks him spark out.
Real gem there possibly as well, with a potential move to heavyweight as well. The big fights, the big nights come. You feel if Joe can master that, getting rid of the whole holding thing that people have criticised him for in the past. Everything else has been there before for him. The wins have come for him outside of the CBS loss, but everything else is there and in place for Lawrence to be a real success.
100%. Touching on heavyweight as well, I think he's certainly big enough. He's a big man now. I was surprised the size of him when he first walked in the gym. So yeah, there's definitely potential there for heavyweight, but let's try and sort this bridgerweight out first.
Bit of a cruiserweight mix as well, competition between Lawrence, Jack Massey, CJ as well too. They're almost be pushing each other together, but also competing against each other.
Yeah, it's good for the big lads. It's good for them to have in-house sparring of that quality. Do you know what I mean? They've all boxed for world titles or held a world title, so it's very, very good and very competitive that them three are pushing each other on and helping each other along.
Paul, get your thoughts on a couple of things. We're rearing very fast towards Fury versus Usyk. I saw Fury in his press conference in Morecambe. He looked very slim to me heading into the fight. Do you feel that a slimmer Tyson Fury has the advantage to get the victory over Usyk on that night?
I do. I think he's going to try and stay with him for the first 4 rounds and match him for speed and foot movement and stay with him. And then I think as the rounds go on, I do think he'll use the size and the weight as an advantage, like he done with Deontay Wilder, where he's holding, he's leaning, he's making it hard for him, and Usyk's going to have to be wrestling him off. And I do think that's where Fury will come good. And I think anything from maybe 9 onwards, I can see Fury getting the stoppage.
Bring it back to yourself. Weight's never been an issue for you. You've always been able to make a issue. So it gets harder as the days come older, but never been a problem.
No, I think the only problem I ever had was Rodriguez. We were £3 over that day, but we only had 3.5 weeks to make the bantamweight limit. We only had 3 weeks notice. So, the weight will be fine. We had check weighs yesterday. Everything was good. Wednesday. Everything was good. We have another check weigh next week. Listen, the weight won't be a problem for me.
Leave the final word with you. What happens in your RBO world title fight against Alberto Jimenez?
I think it'll be a very good fight. He comes to win everywhere he goes. He's been in some great fights. If I had to put a prediction on it, I think I'm going to say I'll stop him. I'll stop him to the body.
Paul, looking forward to it. Thanks for speaking to Seconds Out. All the best.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.